this is your laboratory. When your mind is tuned into life force and you're absorbed into this feeling, you can observe when you do biomechanical movements what happens to this stuff. So everyone's got the life force feeling there now? Now what I want you to do is take the hollow of your palm and push and stretch it out, sort of like you're pushing the center of a suction cup open. And just stretch it, keep tuned in, pump the energy, and just stretch the center of the palm. And notice what happens. Now stretch the center of your foot and notice how the energy changes in your palms. So if the kidney one, that bridge going across from your heel to your ball, the stretch from the kidney one open, and this stuff between your hands starts to amplify. And the more you stretch your foot, the more this feeling increases. So this is putting your body into an electric state. So these are your two basic physiological triggers, the hollow of the palm, the hollow of the foot. Give you 1 point. You stretch them open and the body naturally starts to become electric. Now notice when you stretch the kidney 1 point open that you have to stretch the toes slightly. And notice when you stretch out the whole of the palm, you have to stretch the fingers slightly. And the fingers and toes are intimately connected through your nervous system. Your whole physiology between fingers and toes is linked. When you try and grab something with your hand, your toes grip in a little bit as well to stabilize your balance as you grab it. So there's this very deep connection. When you stretch open the hollow of the palm and stretch open the hollow of the foot, your body becomes electric. It opens. So this is opening energy. This is your two basic physiological triggers. Now next we have the 4 posts. 4 posts are the shoulders and the hips. Now if we look at the front of the shoulder in here, what we want to do is like puffing the chest slightly, but just stretch the shoulder open. So we're not going to push the chest out, we're going to stretch this open and expand these two areas. Top of the cubital crease of the armpit, just from there straight into the shoulder joint, push that open forward and feel what happens to the energy between your hands. It becomes more electric. Yeah. And push the hip open. Now even though we're sitting, we haven't got a body weight on it, so it's not that easy, but just open and stretch your hip and push the hip forward. A bit like you're having sex and you want to thrust. You have a slight forward pelvic opening and feel what happens in the energy in your hands. It increases, it goes up. So now we have the 4 posts, the shoulders and the hips. When they push forward and open, it becomes electric, opens. We have the palms, the hollow of the palm, we push that suction cup open. And the feet, we push them open. We have 8 points. Now when you use these 8 points all at the same time and you push all 8 of them open, it feels like you have a steel spring between your hands and you can't push the ball in. It creates so much outward pressure. If you have these 8 points connected and opening in your form on any movement that requires opening, your whole body will naturally become electric. Now, they're physiological triggers. You don't have to have energy awareness to actually do this. You can teach a person, okay, stretch your hand open, stretch your shoulder open, stretch your hips open, stretch the bow in your foot open, and the energy will open as a physiological trigger. Even if they can't feel energy, it doesn't actually matter. There has to be a correct posture, a correct alignment. So when you can feel energy, you can fine tune it. You can go, how much do I stretch this open? Hit peak. Now if you go past the peak and you go push it too far, the energy stagnates. It goes and it sort of dies. It won't generate the reaction you want. So there's a peak frequency in the electric fluid of the body where you open the hollow of the palm just enough, we open the shoulder just enough, we open the hip just enough, and you open the foot just enough. And when you get that peak, you have this real tangible, you can't push the energy in towards each other because it becomes two positively charged magnets that repel each other. This is how you tune in your form. Every posture where there's opening, you tune it this way. If you're doing the beginning of the form where you raise your hands, then hit those 8 triggers, activate it, and the arms lift up by themselves. So when it's here and I activate those, it's sort of like, whoa, the body's just coming up. And then when I hit the point of tension in my shoulder, where my tension goes, okay, now we're coming into physical muscle engagement, and I switch magnetic, it pulls the energy in and withdraws the hands. So the electric and magnetic fluid make the body move. You need a loose environment, you need your elasticity tuned in perfectly. Mind moves chi, chi moves body. You're not relaxing and trying to move your body. That's totally incorrect. People say, Song, relax, relax, relax. It's nonsense. Because how can the chi move your body? It's not. You have to be tuned into the chi. Now this frequency of opening, when you open, it wants to express itself, it wants to come out, it wants to go into the technique, and you ride that energy wave. As you open up and the light bulb switches on, you can ride the energy wave into the technique that you want to do. Now once you've got your movements reached its full extension, say the opening, you've reached there and you want to close and draw the energy in, what are the physiological triggers? Those same 8 points, instead of expanding them, we suck them in. So this point in here, instead of pushing it out, we pull it back. Now as we pull it back, the outer edge of the hand is sort of like a suction cup. We want to suck back slightly. Now, if you tune into life force, suck back, what happens to life force? Vanishes. It disappears. So what's happening is the energy is contracting, going to a magnetic state, and it feels like your hands can just fall in on themselves and there's nothing to stop them. Now this magnetic state, it's not a magnet going, oh, my hands are locked together. It's energy pulling back to here. So we're not expecting it's sucking my hands in, it's just disappearing. There's nothing there. It just feels like, well, it's gone. It's not happening. But what's happening is the energy is withdrawing to the water region of the body, from the solar plexus to the groin. So this whole abdominal core, your center of mass, all the energy of the body goes, whoop, that becomes active and everything pulls back into the core. As it's pulling back into the core, you have a feeling of withdrawing. Now you add all the rest of the points into it. Your shoulder, suck the shoulder back, and then you have the perception of the chest hollowing and the back being plucked when you go magnetic. So when the classics talk about that, and the abdominal core activating, the ribs open and close and they suck in, your hip sucks back, your suction cup in the foot, your foot pump sucks in, and then everything sucks into the abdominal core here, into your center of mass. And your body becomes magnetic. So this is called closing, where the energy closes, where everything sucks back inwards. And it's a magnetic state. The magnetic fluid of the body amplifies and withdraws. Very similar if you went and jumped into a body of cold water. Freezing cold, close to 0 degrees. As soon as your body hits, everything would withdraw. All the chi of your body would suck in to protect itself. It would become magnetic and go, and in it would go. It would protect. So this is the extreme magnetic end of the rhythm. So what I want you to do for the next few minutes is play with these two. Tune into the life force in a neutral state, so it's electromagnetic, has equal expanding, contracting feeling, it's a natural balanced state, and then open the 8 points. Increase the electric and tune it. How much do you have to open your palm? How much do you have to open your shoulder? How much hip? How much foot? Open it up. And feel in your hands whether you're doing it right or not. Use your mind's awareness of life force you've done through building the wall to tune it in. And you have to do this through every single posture in the form. Every posture where you open, you have to stand there for a very long time and just tune your body into the peak yang, to the peak electric. And then when you're ready, activate the magnetic. Hollow the foot, suck back on the foot pump, suck the hands back, shoulders and hips suck in, and boom, go magnetic. Everything withdraws to the dantian, the abdominal core. Not the dantian on the surface, but the center of the water region of the body. All the water organs are. Between your solar plexus and groin, this whole area between the Ming Men, everything pulls into the center of that region. It's your center of mass. And play with it. You can tune these two frequencies in. The electric's very easy to find peak. The magnetic is more subtle because you don't have anything in your hands to gauge. But the more it disappears while you're on the energy, the better it is. The way we tune the magnetic is sticking to a partner's root and sucking it out. You need a partner to really get the magnetic energy clean. Once you've done the magnetic on those 8 points, the hollows of the palms, the shoulders, the hip, and the foot palm, then we look at the ribs, the way the ribs open and close. And the secret to the ribs is looking at natural breath cycles. As we breathe in, there's an expansion in the ribs. As we breathe out, ribs close and diaphragm releases. So if we feel that natural open and closing, there's a certain timing inside the ribs. If you feel your life force, you can use that timing to tune it in. Everything we need to know about internal arts is inside your body, it's not inside of the book. You tune into life force and you experiment. Open and close the joints, breathe into the marrow, breathe into the different organs, see what happens. The vital breathing into each of the organs individually, except the heart and the brain. You can flush all the emotional energies out. Breathe into your liver, breathe into your kidneys, bring up a physiology, anatomy chart, look at all the systems of your body, breathe into the nervous system. You practice releasing those systems, one at a time. You can get a cross-section of your forearm, look at all the layers of fascia, bone, and feel and mentally transfer into those regions of the body, get to know your body, release them piece by piece. Investigate your whole body energetically. Practice the electric and magnetic triggers. See what happens within those systems. Refine, fine-tune. And as you develop insights into all these different systems, document that information well and share it with the rest of your training group. So we have 100 or so people that are training this stuff, all developing, all exploring, all refining and developing new technologies. Some people are in the Qigong field for martial arts, some people are in healing areas. So we have all different areas where people have learnt this stuff, tuning into life force and investigating and developing, refining and evolving. As you learn it, you have an obligation to yourself and all your fellow students, training partners, to develop, refine and share knowledge. Okay, next 15 minutes I just want you to investigate this energy, electric and magnetic. You can do it sitting or you can do it standing. Once you've investigated the body sitting, I recommend going to standing. And we'll go from there. 15 minutes and we'll start doing some charging up.